Welcome to a noble society of young urban entrepreneurs sharing knowledge and building wealth. Welcome to the League of Hustlers.
The hustle is in your bones. It runs through your veins. It's that ambition to do more, become more. You can feel it. You know you have what it takes. You know you can build a life you've been dreaming of. It's time you live up to your potential. Welcome to the League of Hustlers.
Welcome back to the League of Hustlers, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your co-host, CD Barnes.
And I'm HT.
We are the League of Hustlers. Today we got a special episode for you guys. All right, we got a special guest. All right, and I'm gonna just down some of the accolades here. All right, just to give you a little taste of what type of information you might be able to get out of this episode, man. We have a former professional boxer, all right, super middleweight, 15 bouts, 8 knockouts. That's over 50% right there. Coin toss, head tells you about to get knocked out. All right, USA certified boxing trainer, national champ, USA national boxing team, World Series of Boxing team member, entrepreneur, owner, and trainer at Tony Mack Elite Training. All right, we got the man Tony Mack on the League of Hustlers. How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? I appreciate y'all for having me on the show, man. It's exciting. Been following y'all on Instagram, and I see a lot of good stuff, man. So I appreciate y'all for having me.
Glad to have you, man. Beautiful. So just to kind of let people know who you are, you know, I gave the intro. Correct me on anything. If I misstated anything, you feel free to correct me. Also, just, you know, let people know who you are, what you're working on, where you are today. What's going on with you?
And the introduction was on point, man. You know, I've been fighting for the past, 10, 15 years, man. And, you know, tragic happened to where I had to, where I was forced into retirement, and then I jumped right into entrepreneur, man. And the story goes from there. And it's a lot to go into it, but, man, it's just good stuff, man. It's all good stuff, and yeah, that's about it, man. It's a lot more into it, but hey.
Right. So right off the bat, man, it's, you know, you had like a stellar run in the boxing game, and then transitioning into entrepreneurship. What are some of those qualities, you know, like what does it take? What does it take to be a champion? If you can handpick qualities, you know what I mean, things that you picked up out of the boxing world, things that you picked up out of entrepreneurship, what are the qualities that it takes to be successful?
You got to be willing to run through a brick wall to be successful, man. You got to be willing to do what it takes. Man, there's going to be so many ups and downs. There's going to be so many troubles, so many things around the corner, but if you learn how to walk through the fire with a huge smile on your face and know that the next day is going to be okay, you're going to be all right. So one of my mottos is that I learned that everybody, they want tomorrow right now. If you learn how to just be patient, slow, steady growth is the name of the game, man, because nothing happened overnight. And once you get that in your mind, and once you get that understanding, and once you learn how to just relax and understand it's going to be there if you do the work, if you show up, and it's going to be there. So all you got to do is just have patience and not give up when things don't go your way. And that's what I learned through boxing. That's what I learned through being an entrepreneur is all you got to do is just keep showing up. And no matter what the situation is, just keep showing up. Because life throwing me some wrenches in life. God threw me some challenges in life, in boxing, business, life period. But I accepted those situations. I noticed that it was I noticed for what it is, and I just accepted and just kept moving. It just kept staying focused on my overall vision, on my overall goal. And just keep going no matter what, because it's gonna life is painful, man. Life is painful. Just you need a clear understanding that we are not in heaven right now. This is earth. This is a broken world. So once you get the understanding is that look, nothing's going to be perfect. You need to accept the challenges and then just go with it.
So give us an example of a time in your life where you hit like a major roadblock and it was like, dude, you know, like, how am I going to get through this? How am I gonna keep pushing? And then, you know, what sparked you to keep going, you know?
Can I give you about 3 or 4 examples?
Yeah, sure.
And like each season of my life, I had a challenge. Every season, like from grade school to high school to boxing. So when I was younger, I had a problem with learning, and so in the Dallas DISD system, in the urban system, they never figured out a way I learned, and so they held me back in school. I was held back in first grade like 2-3 times, and then I missed 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. So I always challenged with learning, and I always beat myself up because I used to just sit at the school, at the table doing homework and just cry. I was like, man, like nothing's really wrong with me, man, but I just can't, I don't get it. And so DISD never figured out a way for me to learn. And so so my aunt, long story short, I grew up in Pleasant Grove, and then it's like, it's a rough neighborhood, Dallas area. Then my aunt ended up moving to Plano, where it's a majority white neighborhood. And so when she moved to Plano, I asked if I could live with her because I was living in Pleasant Grove, hanging with the wrong crowd, doing things I wasn't supposed to do. And so when I moved to Plano, it was a majority white school. And it was a majority, it wasn't even just white, it was like Asians, Indian, it was like a mixed majority. And so when I went to that environment, the people there, they was able to help me. They was able to get me back up to my school and stuff, like to my right level of learning. And so for me being in Pleasant Grove, from being fell in school like crazy to hanging with the wrong crowd, doing things I wasn't supposed to do, and then just getting around a different environment, it took my mindset to a whole nother level. And I ended up being the first Black homecoming king at Plano West High School, the first Black senior class president at Plano West High School, from being labeled a high school dropout, which one of my school teachers told me I was going to be. In 6th grade, she told me I was going to be she said, look, you high school dropout material. I'd never forget that. She was saying that if I don't get it together, she said, you head down that road. To me, end up graduating at a higher level when I was supposed to graduate, and end up being the first Black class president of an all-white school, first Black homecoming king at an all-white school. And it wasn't given to me. I did the work. That was just one level, because I could have gave up. I could have accepted the fact that I couldn't learn. I could have accepted the fact that I was a high school dropout. Like most of my friends that I grew up with in Pleasant Grove, a lot of them, majority, more than half of them is in prison, dead. And so, that was just the first part. And then second part, in my whole life, I was a chubby kid. I wasn't an athlete growing up. And in football, I was the starting ass back. The ass back is, right? Like, coach, let me in. Mac, get your ass back. Get
back on the sideline.
Yeah, man, I was terrible in all kind of sports, man. I wasn't skilled enough for like DB, or I wasn't big enough for like a lineman or linebacker, nothing like that. I was just a normal kid. But then once I graduated high school, I started boxing at the age of 20 years old. Most people start when they was like freaking
15, 16.
15, 16, 8 years old. And so when I started boxing when I was 20, and then when I got in that gym, one of my college roommates, he was a boxer. So he brought me to the gym one day. Long story behind that, but he brought me to the gym one day, and I just fell in love with it. And then I did the workout, and the coach was like, man, you pushed through it even though we was kicking your butt. You know what I'm saying? You mind if I don't know if I curse or nothing like that.
It's all good.
Yeah, he's like, yo, man, I was kicking your ass, but you kept pushing. He said, you might could be a boxer one day. I was like, really? You think I could box? He's like, yeah, man. And so after he told me that, man, I just kept showing up at the age of 20. I just kept showing up. In my first fight, I remember my first sparring match, I got whooped. I got my ass whooped. In my first fight, I got my ass whooped, but I just kept showing up to the gym. Showing up to the gym, and then after that, and then a year later, I ended up winning my first Dallas Golden Gloves. I just loved that feeling. And
do
then
you
the
think,
fact that,
real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but do you think that trainers, that trainers' little piece of encouragement, like lit, was that a little fire that was sparked like within you?
it was, man, because you know, man, I never had the respect of an athlete. You know, I always wanted to be an athlete. Like my first cousin, I don't know if you know, Antoine Randall, for the he played for the Steelers and he played for the Redskins, all the stuff. So I used to I used to watch him train. When I lived in Chicago, I lived with him, and I used to watch him play his football game and go to his games. I went to Indiana University with him a few summers, hung out with him and stuff like that. And then I was like, man, I want that, man. I was like, that's pretty cool how everybody respect him. Everywhere he went, he was just respected. But I just didn't have it in me when it came to football, but I always wanted that. I always wanted that type of respect. But then when I started boxing and I started telling people I was boxing, they saw me staying consistent with it. I always got that respect. I was starting to get that respect I always wanted. I always was getting that the notoriety I always wanted. I was like, yo, if I stick with this, if I go with it, man, I could probably really be a champion. And then, like I say, at the age of 20, I started, and then I stuck with it. I just kept fighting. And then 3 years later, I found myself on the U.S. team at the age 23. I got ranked number 3 in the nation. I had to fight. I had to go through a lot of battles. And then at 24 years old, made the World Series of Boxing team. And at 27, I turned professional because I ended up fighting in the 2012 Olympic trials. I lost to Robert Brant, one of my current world champion, one of my good friends. He was my USA teammate, my World Series Boxing teammates. And me and him, you know, he was my roommate, but then we ended up having to fight each other. Ended up losing him. We still talk shit to this day.
Wow.
And like I ended up losing him. And so after I didn't make the Olympic team, I ended up turning pro at 27. And then that's when I just went on.
Wow.
With the pro career. And yes. Anything else I want, or I keep it going.
Yeah, no. Yeah. You had something, CD? I see your wheels turning.
Nah, I'm just like, man, persistence. Like we were actually just having a conversation about that, you know what I mean, before this show right here. We were just talking about staying down, being persistent, you know what I mean, jumping through obstacles and just like rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. You know, even if you lose, you get back up, you hit the fight again, and you just keep going, man.
Yeah. And during all that time, while I was training for the Olympics, I was in school, and so what I did for money, I had to pick up trash every single morning for free rent on college campus. I picked up trash every morning for like 5-6 years. I worked at the college. I worked at the college fitness facility, and I worked multiple other jobs and getting a college education. And it was all while I was training. And you know, so man, I just did what it takes. So, and today it upsets me a little bit because I run into a lot of wannabe fighters. I run into a lot of guys that say they want to fight, but when it comes to doing what you have to do to be successful, a lot of fighters don't want to do what it takes. And I'm like, bro, like it's
Hold on, say that again, man. Say that again.
Yeah, you know, a lot of fighters, a lot of people in life period, they don't want to do what it takes to be successful. And so, man, I was like, look, man, if I could wake up every morning at 6 a.m., pick up trash, go to class, go work another job, and then find a way to get the training. You know, I had some buckets when I was training. And when my buckets broke down, man, I get on a dark bus and I get on be on a bus for like 2 hours just to get across town. There's times I went to sleep on a bus, woke up in a whole other town, like, God dang, I got to take another hour to get to the gym. End up getting to the gym late at night and end up putting in 2-3 hours and taking a bus back. You know what I'm saying? And
so it's that mentality, I think is what you're about to say. And
it's all about you got to be willing to do what it takes to be successful. And a lot of people, a lot of up and coming fighters, a lot of kids I run into, they say they want to do a lot of stuff, but I'm like, look, bro, if you really want to be successful, man, you really gotta be able to run through a brick wall. You got to be willing to fall out the sky to get to the next level. And so, yeah, man. So it's just, I just got to embed that in people, man. Let them know that, look, nothing's going to be easy.
It's the same
Nothing's
way.
Gonna be easy.
And same thing in entrepreneurship. And, you know, we can kind of transition to that because, you know, with your gym and everything that you're doing, that's a task. That's like going to the Olympics itself. You know, and we run across people all the time and they're like, yeah, I want to do this. I'm trying to do this. It's like you want to win, but you don't want to train.
Right.
How you going to win if you don't want to train? You got to get your stripes in. You got to earn your stripes. Hustlers, listen to me. You have to put the work in. Just because you want it, right? That's great. You need a clear, definite vision, but there's another piece to that. Is act, right? Taking action is acting on those desires. You have to take action. And we're hearing it straight from the man himself, Tony Mack. All right.
Sure.
He's giving you the game, right? He had a goal
100%.
of being a boxer, right? A pro boxer at that. And he put the work in to do it. He trained for it, right?
My USA teammates and my boxing peers, they used to clown on me because I had no skills. Like I wasn't athletic enough, but
Wow.
I was willing to die in the ring to get to that level. I was willing. I had to walk through some punches. I had to go through some stuff to win because I was limited. I was limited on certain things, but one thing they couldn't beat me on is my will and my heart and my grit.
Woo!
You know, and that's one thing that
Yeah.
that got me to that next level so quick because I was willing to take a couple of the blows to get to the next level. And especially as an amateur, I was trained by a Mexican coach too. So I really, I had no choice but to, all we knew I learned how to fight like a Mexican, you know what I'm saying? My boxing skills wasn't there. The coach I had, Coach Paul, he was an amazing coach, but all he knew was the Mexican style fighting. And that's what he taught me. And that's how I got to the next level. And then when I turned professional, I ended up training with Derek James, Earl Spence coach and Jamel Charlo coach. He was my head coach. He actually turned me pro before Earl Spence. So me and EJ as a professional, me and EJ, we came up the ranks together. So that was my number one sparring partner, him, Robert Brandt, and so many other top fighters. And so, man, that just as a professional, that was just taxing because I had to 3 days out the week just me sparring Earl Spence Jr. And I was like, I had to do it, and then I have a fight, and then he'll have a fight like the next week. And so coach was like, look, man, EJ helped you get ready for your fight. I ain't got to help him get ready for this. I'm like, God damn, you get a chance to rest. So I had to go right back into training camp, because we was coming up neck to neck. But
do
I
you
had
think
a lot
that
of
helped though?
It helped a lot because I looked at my opponent like, yo, this dude is not the 2012 Olympian like I've been sparring. This dude is not the world champion caliber I've been sparring. And so it's not, these guys not going to beat me. And the one fight I lost and the one fight I had a draw on, it was all my mistake because I did some things wrong when it came to cutting weight, wrong when it came to my diet. When I learned from my mistakes on how to implement it to my fighters in my gym because of things I did wrong. The reason why I wasn't successful tonight because I didn't cut weight the right way. My nutrition wasn't on point. So everything that ever happened to me in my life bad, it was all my own doing. I was my worst enemy. And so I had to accept that and look at and to continue to just push through those terrible times, the bad mistakes I made.
Real quick though, man, I want to just point out a major key that you just kind of hit on, man. Iron sharpens iron, man. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
You sparring, you know what I mean? Like you said, you sparring with some of the best. So it's when it's time for you to go in the ring and fight your fight, you already know you're prepared. You can look at your competition honestly and say, I've sparred with greater opponents than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron, man. Keep your circle tight. Prepare.
The name of the game is alignments, man. You got to have a right alignment. And I was so blessed enough in my entire life, and then in each chapter of my life, God put the right alignments in my life. And I know that it was some bad alignments in my life, but in my mind, I had a key to noticing the people I need to stay away from, and like when I chose, the right alignments and stuff like that. And so even when it came to business, God put the right alignments. He put the right people in my life, and I noticed that, and I took it and ran with it. And so, man, like you say, iron sharpens iron. Alignments is the key to the game in order to be successful, because you can't be successful by yourself. It's impossible to get there by yourself. A lot of people say they self-made, and everybody say they did this on their own. No, it's impossible. You gotta have somebody to help you get to the next level. And so you just gotta notice the help, and like don't, of course, your will and your hard work put you in those situations that meet up with the right people with the right alignments. But yeah, man, like iron sharpens iron and everything when it comes to business, when it comes to boxing, I was just right. I was in the right position to be in the right alignments, and everything just flowing the right way.
So tell us about your business, present day, Tony Mack Elite Training. Fill us in, what's going on with that? Let us know how's that going for you. Yeah, man,
I started Tony Mack Elite Training in 2016. It was a year after I had my detached retina surgery. That's what forced me to retirement. In 2015, I ended up having 5 detached retina surgeries. Didn't know what I was going to do. I was training people on the side for extra money and stuff like that. But then, in 2016, when that happened, man, I was like, what I'm going to do, man. Then I talked to one of my manager, my business partner. I was like, man, Nate, man, I really think I should open up a gym, man. And then he was like, really? He said, if you're serious, man, go find a location and get an LLC. I was like, what? I said, what is an LLC? I didn't know what it was, but the next day I did the homework, and I got my LLC, and I found the location, and the next 2 days I moved in my location where I'm at now, and started out with 1 member, 1 to 2 members, and didn't have, for months and months, and almost a year, wasn't really nobody showing up. No, I really didn't have no members. But like I say, man, 80% is showing up, and so I just kept showing up, kept doing what I was supposed to do to be successful, because I knew that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so, man, next 5 members came in. The next 10 members came in. And now, 4 years later, I'm knocking on 200 members' door, plus more.
Oh, wow.
It's probably more than that. And it's all about showing up. And it's not only the gym. It's so many things that I'm getting my hands into, man. It's just like so many different opportunities. You got to know the right opportunities and the bad opportunities. But, man, God is just putting me in so many different situations to where it's letting it be known that I'm more than a boxer, man. I'm more than just a gym owner. I'm a 100% entrepreneur now, man. And it's pretty cool, man. It's amazing how it's all happening, man. And it's just 4 years of being an entrepreneur, from never owning a business to never, from not having no business background, not going to school for business, anything like that. But I just
So is this your first business venture?
This is my first business adventure.
Wow.
I had my business partner. They had different businesses and stuff like that. But my manager, I was blessed enough to have a manager to help coach me through everything, because he knew that boxing wasn't forever. He always taught me on what was next. We didn't think it was going to happen at the age of 30. We thought it was going to be like, I was getting ready for a world title fight. We was getting ready for stuff like that. So I woke up blind one day on my eye, and things was just forced to happen. And I was like, you know what? I'm about to just jump into it. Either I'm going to sink or swim, man. I mean, whatever. I just said, forget it. Let's just go into it. And then we did it. Started out with only 4 bags. And by now I got over 30 bags in the gym, man. And everything's just growing, man. And more opportunities coming, man. I'm focusing on getting my own. I got my own merchandise company. I'm focused. I'm meeting with a guy from Pakistan tomorrow. We finna freaking start my own gloves and hand wrap line, Tony Mack Elite and stuff like that. So things about to go to a whole nother level. Like my slogan is levels to this shit, man. It's levels to everything we do. And I'm about to continue to just take things to a whole nother level, man. And that's the goal, man. The goal is to have multiple locations and just have multiple like-minded people under me, because I'm learning right now. I'm focusing on how to duplicate myself, because I can't do everything right now. So right now I'm just focusing on mentoring up-and-coming athletes, up-and-coming boxers and stuff like that to duplicate myself. And, man, like I say, I started with just me in the gym. Me and one of my homegirls, she helped me coach classes. Now I got 8 trainers under me, and and what's funny is that I'm paying my trainers more now than I was bringing home last year. Take my pay. I'm doubling my trainer salary, all because I kept showing up. I just kept grinding. I don't like to say the word grinding. It's like cliche, man. I'm tired of it. Let me think of another word besides grinding. Just kept showing up. Just kept staying consistent.
Right.
Just keep doing my part, and then by me doing my part, people will see the hard work. Like one of my other slogans, like nobody else will believe until you believe in yourself. And so what I did, I just believed in myself, and everybody else, they hopped on the bandwagon. Like, okay, Tony is serious. Like all my boxing friends, like even the champions today, like one of my best friends about to fight for a world title Saturday. They see what I was doing, man. They see everything, and they like, yo, Tony is really, really doing this. And so they all jumping on the bandwagon. Everybody, they see the hard work. And so it's pretty cool to get that respect from your peers like that, man.
Yeah, man.
From when you started from absolutely nothing to where you are now. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be, man. I'm blessed where I'm at right now. I'm blessed in the present.
Yeah, but you're going for it though, man. I always say to me it's more about the journey. If you think about it, it's the destination is cool. It's definitely important, but just as important is the journey, like how you're getting there. Make sure you
journey
have
is fun, man.
Yeah, man.
And the multi-millionaire of mine is my wife. Her boss older brother, he lives in Charlotte. He's multi-millionaire.
Okay, that's
successful man.
He
helped me out with so many business ideas and stuff like that. He said that exactly. He's like, Tony, he said the best part I had about my success was the journey. He's like, that was a fun time. He said, man, I got all this money now. He said, I'm not having fun like I used to. He said the uncertainty was the most fun part. Yeah. And he was like, so whatever you do, don't lose it. He said, don't lose sight of the journey, man. He said the journey is the most fun part of getting to where you are. He was like, once you get all the money, he said, you're going to get the money. It's going to come. He was like, just continue to stay humble, continue to stay present, continue to just enjoy the journey. And so, man, that's what I'm doing. I don't want to lose the fun part of it. I don't, I love the feeling of going after something, having goals and just striving to do something. So I got to continue to stretch myself, man. I got to continue to surround myself with people who's on a whole nother level than I am, so I could continue to enjoy the journey, man. Continue to get to these climbing up levels.
Keep going, man. Keep going. But yeah, we're part based out of Charlotte as well, so
Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Yeah,
we might need to hop on a Zoom with Buddy. Get some more insight.
Definitely, he's an entrepreneur, man, and I'll set you up with Bobby Selkin, man. He's a legit entrepreneur out there, man.
Cool. So every episode, Tony Mack, the man himself, every episode, we like to present our listeners with a challenge to help move them closer to their goals. Gone are the days of just listening to podcasts. On the League of Hustlers, we like to give you an actionable challenge that's going to move you closer to your goals. So, Tony, what challenge do you have? I think we got like 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. What challenge do you have for the League of Hustlers?
Man, there's so many things you can say, so many things you do. But lately, man, I challenge you. If you're not a reader, man, pick up a book and read. That's one of the biggest things that changed my whole life, changed my mindset. And read, listen to podcasts like this every day. Like I actually stopped listening to music, but I listen to podcasts like crazy.
Yeah.
And pick up a book, man. Pick up a book. Just challenge yourself to read 20, 30 minutes a day. And I'm telling you, your thinking will advance, your vocabulary will advance. And
right. Any suggestions on the book?
Say it again.
Any book suggestions?
Man, I'm telling you, that 50 Cent book is crazy. That hustle harder, hustle smarter.
Okay.
And man, that's one of the best books. And another book that I'm reading right now is from Michael Hyatt, Vision Driven Leader. That's having me take my vision teaching me how to keep my vision going, how to come up with a mission statement, how to have a purpose behind your business. And that's helping me to a whole nother level. Keith Craft, he's one of my mentors. He have multiple books. Marie Forleo, she's amazing, man. Everything is figure outable. That book is amazing. But the best book is the Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, because it's something about the book. I think it's because I can relate to it. And then I get to see, that 50 Cent, that's one of the best books I read, man. And it's pretty legit, man. And this year, I used to be embarrassed to say, 2 or 3 years ago, I never even read a book from beginning to end. And I used to be like, man, that was embarrassing. And so once I started surrounding myself with more like-minded people, start getting into mastermind classes and stuff like that.
Wow.
Key to success is reading, bettering yourself, challenge your mindset. And just this year, man, I'm on my third book. I listened to almost 15. I completed 3 books. I listened to almost 15 books, audio books. Yeah. And it's just, man, it's crazy how your mindset will change once you start reading, man. And so it was a saying I heard the other day. They said, I forgot, but it spoke to my heart. It was like, if you want to keep, if you
be like, sorry, we had the video cut out. We had some technical difficulties, but jumping right back into it, Tony, you were talking about different book recommendations, and you said the Hustle. Was it Hustle
Harder, Hustle Smarter?
Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, and who else?
Said Marie Forleo. Everything is figure outable. That book is legit. Michael Hyatt, a vision-driven leader. The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up, that book. Yeah. I can't think of the author. It was a long time ago. I listened to the audio book. That book was legit.
Okay.
And The Power of the Subconscious Mind, man, by Joseph Murphy. Because that's what I've been dealing with a lot, man. Because your mind is could be your biggest problem. And so all your self-doubts and everything that happened to you, things in life could just get to you. So, man, The Power of the Subconscious Mind is a legit book, man. And that stuff will tell you how to control your subconscious, man. I've been really into taking over my subconscious. Don't let other people control my thoughts. And it's easy to do with social media. It's easy to do with how this life is done. But that book just took my whole mindset to a whole nother level. It's taking me out of, and I still got a long way to go because it's just tough trying to control your own thoughts, man. But it's helping out a lot. And it's a new book I'm actually reading right now called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. That's teaching you how to stay in the present, stuff like that. So so lately, man, I feel like I've just been inspired to just read and take my mindset to a whole nother level, man. I just pray that I don't leave because I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying just the different mindset and different things that's going on, man.
Right.
And the other thing that I don't know if y'all, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the religious type guy, but I'm not the most spiritual, I'm not, but I learned the key to my success is giving, man, tithing, man.
Right.
I heard a quote is that not a quote I heard from pastor say, play a game with God and see if you win. And it's like try your best to outgive God. You'll never lose. You'll never win that game. And so my giving, I've been giving over and above. I've been giving my time over and above, and giving to people over and above, and that took my business, that took my mindset, and it took the flow of life just kept flowing. So the giving is the key, man.
Malachi 3:8. How will can a man rob God? That's what it says.
It's impossible, man.
It says, test me, give, and test me in this and see when I open the windows of heaven and pour out a blessing that there won't be room enough to receive. I live by that too. So whatever your religious, preference is or whatnot, I know about me and my house, you know what I mean? And it's that tithing, man, it works, man. can't.
It's crazy, and people they so afraid that if they don't have a little, they don't have much, or
Right.
they just think that giving tithing they're gonna hold them back. But I'm telling you, you just believe in it and just do it. I'm telling you, it works because and then being a mastermind, being mentored by Keith Craft, he's one of the top pastors in Dallas, and he's an entrepreneur. He was a multimillionaire before he even started his church. And he's one of my personal business coaches. He taught me the flow of life, like giving the extra 4%, of what you're doing.
Wow.
And it was just, and it's like he said, it's a study shown that if you do extra 4% in anything, that everything would just go your way. You think about it, he mixed it up. I'm trying to make it all sense of it now. But if you think about the Dead Sea, like a lot of stuff, like the Dead Sea, everything goes in it, but nothing come out. And so a lot of people have that mentality. But if you have that, but if you continue to give, it's automatically gonna come back to you. It's like it's the flow of life. It's all about the flow.
Right.
And so if you can't just have a tight fist and not, expect to get nothing in it. You got to be able to have an open hand. You got to be able to give.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to be able to receive anything by, and it's not even money. You don't got to give money. You can give your time. You can give your efforts.
Right.
Put a little bit more into your business. Put a little bit more into somebody who needs your help. Give a little more income, to God first, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been living. I've been giving extra 4% on everything I do.
Wow.
Giving extra 4% on a tip. Extra 4% on the tithe, and extra 4% of time. Like they say 4% in 24 hours is like 54 minutes or almost an hour. So just give an extra 4% on the day you're doing, on your regular day. Just give it extra time. So I've been since November last year, after I heard that, and I took it to heart. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Because I got things I need to get to, and I can't do it just being selfish. Just worry about myself, you know what I'm saying? And if you want to take things to a whole nother level, man, you gotta be able to help people. You gotta be able to bring some people with you. Not everybody, because everybody don't deserve everybody to put the work in.
Everybody can't go.
Exactly, but the people who's willing to learn, the people who's a sponge, people who's willing to listen,
right?
People that are willing to do the work, man, I want to help them as much as possible.
Right. Match efforts. People that's willing to match efforts in their own way. Bring their talents to the table.
Mm-hmm. And man. So, and my other goal is my whole life I've been a people's person, and so my whole business premise is to, my first goal was to make multiple world champions, boxing world champions. But you know what? That's still my goal. That's gonna come. That's gonna be the cherry on top. But I think I could bring the champion out of every single person that I come across. Everybody got a little champion in them, and that's what T-Mack Elite Training is all about. Is finding that champion in whoever come in this gym, because you got to find it in that person, and you got to believe it in yourself. And so that's what I do. That's why I believe I'm having so much success, to bring everybody got a champion in them. My goal is to bring it out of you. So that's what that's why I'm having a lot more success with T-Mack Elite Training, because I find a champion in somebody.
Yeah, that sounds like a good slogan, man. Everybody,
don't take my slogan. I need to.
I'm suggesting it. Yeah, I'm suggesting.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm putting a stamp on that. That right.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? That's my mission statement, man.
I'm in marketing.
That's my business mission statement, my business purpose.
Yeah, I'm in marketing, man. Run with that.
I got you.
Run with that. That's golden right there. Everybody. That's a book title too, man. Everybody got a little champion in them.
Everybody, man. And, and I'm, my business, my whole value is relationship, man. I just love on people, man. I never in my life met a stranger. And so, man, I just pray that never leave, man. And so that's what I want to continue to focus on, man. And so
where can we let everybody know, man, let us know where we can find you on your social media, the website. How can we find you online?
Okay, so my Instagram business page is T-Mack Elite Training. And I just started a new personal Instagram because I have to separate my business from personal. My new personal Instagram is TKO Tony Mack. Twitter is T-Mack. My Twitter is TKO Tony Mack as well. And Facebook is T-Mack Elite Training for Business, and TKO Tony Mack for Facebook too as well. But just type in Tony Mack II.
And real quick, is there any fighters that you have coming out that you want to, give a shout out to, and who we should look out for? Anybody coming out of the camp?
I'm training a lot of UFC fighters and MMA fighters. I got Steven Peterson. He's one of the UFC fighters I've been working with. He this time in September he won for knockout of the year. You know what I'm saying? With a spinning back fist. Yeah, okay. We fought in Mexico. And I got a lot of up and coming amateurs I'm working with. I just got through in January. I just got through working with Ernesto Deliato. He's out of Dallas. We fought on Roy Jones promotion. He fought for a world title. We came up short in that fight, but within freaking 4 years, I'm coaching world title fights. That was pretty legit, man. I have that experience, and I got a lot of up and coming amateurs, man, that I'm building up from ground up. And so yeah, man, it's a lot of people. A lot of fighters I'm dealing with, but right now I'm focusing on building champions from ground up. That's I want to take a champion that I took from the amateurs all the way to the Olympics, and want them to experience everything I experienced. So that's my goal now. And I got a bunch of up and coming fighters, amateurs that's coming in and out of the gym that I'm working with.
Perfect, man.
Yeah, man.
Perfect. So you know where to find Tony. You know where to find us, all right? LeagueofHustlers.com. If you found something useful, something good in this episode, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, all right? Bringing you the best, man. We brought you Tony Mack, all right? H. Tell them only one other thing to do, man. Let them know.
It's one thing.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you. And we appreciate you guys at the League of Hustlers. You see what we do. We see the type of stuff that we try to continuously bring y'all. The type of people that we try to place in your lives. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So spend a little time with the League of Hustlers. And as CD said, there's one more thing left to do. And that's go get it. All right? Signing off. League of Hustlers, baby.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your time, bro.
Most deaf.